Okay, so today we are going to learn how to set up the basics for a remote control thing. So here we've got sort of a mock forward method. We could make mock other methods, but this is just to get it so you're just doing the basics of the control. So you don't have a lot of other things going on throwing off the core functionality. We're just going to do the basics. So first thing you got to do is you got to create a char variable called incoming byte. Really, you could call it whatever you want, but incoming byte matches the instructions on the Arduino website. If you look up serial, this is going to be very similar to the code we saw in the last video. So this should be pretty easy. We got char incoming byte equals whatever the heck you want. I might do a space. There we are, and this thing is just like our fake forward method, just so we don't get an error if we call the forward method later. We want to start talking to the computer at 9600 baud. Hopefully you remember that is a serial.begin. And then you just put in your baud rate. And then if we've been sent a byte, hopefully you remember the last video, the way we figure out how many bytes we've received is serial.available. And if it's greater than 0, we have something we can read. If it's 0, then we don't have anything. We haven't received anything from the computer, so there's nothing to read. So just like the template program in the last one, available, if I can spell it. So if that is greater than 0, we got something to read. And then we want to make our incoming byte equal to the first available byte. So if you remember, what was that command? It was serial.read. That is just equal to the first byte we have in what's called a buffer. Think of it like a lineup outside waiting to come in, waiting to be used. So the first guy in the line will be equal to serial.read. That's our first byte we can read. So we'll make incoming byte equal to, in this case, not 100% sure if we have to cast it to a char, but I will anyway, because it won't hurt anything. And then serial.read. And so that's all we got to do. And then we're good for that. I'll just delete that in case people are skimming through. So yeah, now every time we have an available byte, it becomes the variable incoming byte. So whatever character the user last typed into the serial monitor, let's check out our serial monitor. Hopefully I can. I don't have anything, can't do it because I have nothing connected to my computer. But if you did, there's a little place you can type in. Anyway, so then we want to make a switch statement. Hopefully you remember that. It's been a while, but anyway, you just do switch, and then whatever you want to switch depending on, in this case our incoming byte, that is the last character we received. And then if it is the case, so we want to use a case statement. So case F, so if the case is F, or our case is, not A, this way they can type in capital F or little f. Remember, cases run into each other unless there's a break statement. So in this case, little f and big F will do the same thing, which is great. And we just want it to go forward. We've got our little fake forward method, which we will replace with our real forward method when we merge this with our previous motor control and sonar program. And then we just got a break afterwards. Otherwise, it'll keep running into the next thing. And then if there's not a character that you have a case for, that one's called default. So if we type in default, that'll execute if it's, in this case, we just have case F and capital F. So if we put in a Q or any other character than F at this point, default would execute. We will add a few more cases for like going back or left, or we should probably have a stop as well. So in this case, we want to print out, or not system, serial.print line, and let's say invalid character. Just tell the user we don't have any code to do anything with that yet. And we could totally put a break after it, but if it's our last thing, it doesn't matter because it'll just run into the end bracket and finish anyway. But just in case you put something below it, we'll throw this in. That way you could put something below default. Usually the convention is to have default as the last thing in your list of cases. If we try to do this, hopefully I haven't screwed anything up. We'll see if it compiles. Oop. Oh, I deleted that. My bad. Anyway. With it, it'll probably work. And then later on, we will also want to do, say, case B, case. So do things like this. You could also do WASD if you're more familiar with that. I know I am. Might make it a little easier to control. Anyway, so that is it for now. Hopefully this makes more sense, and hopefully you remember your switch statements and how they work. Anyway, happy coding.